All right, so our next checkpoint is checkpoint 7, which is our essay. So it's the names close read essay. So in our checkpoint 6, we read two texts. We read My Name by Sandra Cisneros, and we read If I Had Been Called Sabrina or Anne, She Said, by Marge Piercy. And now we are writing an essay analyzing the similarities and differences in how the author uses narrative technique to portray the protagonist or the narrator rather, their feelings about their name. All right. So what we need to do is a couple of things. At this point, the end of the term is Friday, and I am no longer accepting any late work past Friday. So at this point, your best bet for writing this essay in an efficient manner is clicking on the resource that is titled Names Close Read Essay Draft New Mild Yes. Okay, I want to repeat Names Close Read Essay Draft New Mild Yes. This is the best copy to use. This is the best resource to use for your checkpoint 7 because it is going to allow you to write this essay in the most efficient amount of time. So I need to click on this checkpoint 7 because I need to delete what's in there right now for me. So I'm going to click Control A and then I'll delete that. Okay. All right. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go put in my name's close read essay draft, new mild yes copy. So I'm going to Control A, Control C. I'm going to get out of this. I can get out of that. I'll go back into the Power of Conflict. I'll click on my name's close read essay draft and I'm going to paste this copy into this blank sheet now. All right. So now I have my new mild yes copy. Okay. So our culminating task is to compare and contrast how the two authors, so Sandra Cisneros and Marge Piercy, use narrative techniques to develop the speaker's feelings/attitudes toward their name. Okay, so you're writing an essay in which you identify the narrator's attitude toward their name in each text and analyze the similarities and differences in how the authors use narrative technique to portray those feelings and attitudes. So in this copy, in the new mild yes copy, I do recommend reading the text again. So reading my name again and reading the poem again. Okay, this copy already has the brainstorm part figured out for you. Okay, so when we were attacking the prompt, we had A, B, C, attack the prompt, brainstorm, and then choose the order. So in this brainstorm, we have already identified the narrator's feelings about their name. So Esperanza feels sad about having the same name as her great grandmother. And Marge feels annoyed kind of by her plain name. Okay, they both don't like their name. Also identified the narrative techniques they use. So they both use sensory details, but Sandra Cisneros uses an anecdote while Marge Piercy uses questions to portray the narrator's feelings or attitudes toward their name. Okay, so the brainstorm's already taken care of for you. All right, this is a little section for evidence if you want to select and identify your own evidence. However, this is how you go through this resource. So it says paragraph 1, which is our outline, introduction, and thesis. Okay, so for the introduction, you need to, and for each box, you need to highlight the correct answer in yellow. So this is your introduction. This is where you introduce the text. So the two texts, My Name and If I Had Been Called Sabrina or Anne, She Said, are both about narrators who, and then you would highlight the correct answer. Okay. For the thesis statement, again, if you go back up to the brainstorm, we see that they use similar narrative techniques and different narrative techniques. So you would select the correct thesis statement, the one where it says that the authors use similar and different narrative techniques. That's the only one I'm going to give you, okay? And then you go through each box, right? So your claim. This is your paragraph 2, talking about the similar narrative technique. So one narrative technique used in both texts to portray each narrator's feelings toward their name is, so go up to the brainstorm and you see that, oh, sensory details is the similar narrative technique. So you might highlight sensory details, and then you'll highlight the correct evidence, reasoning, and continue on. For difference, you need to identify the different narrative technique. So anecdote versus questions, and you'll continue to highlight the correct answers. And then at the